Coalition leader Raila Odinga has described President William Ruto's one-year reign since he took office as disastrous. The opposition leader, flanked by Azimio principals, slammed the president, saying his propaganda on managing the economy has been exposed by unchecked borrowing, high fuel and food prices, which have pushed up inflation, warning Kenyans to brace for tough economic times ahead. Odinga warned President Ruto to get his act together in fixing the economy or face a revolt from Kenyans.
The Azimio Brigade has kicked off their scorecard campaign against President William Ruto's performance 1 year since he took office, describing it as disastrous and driven by economic propaganda.
Fellow Kenyans, this has been a disastrous 1 year under Kenya Kwanza, and we have no good new or encouraging words to offer. There are strong indications that the things will get worse or remain the same.
Azimio leader Raila Odinga and his fellow principals shooting straight from the hip that President Ruto has failed and the economic realities of failed promises during the election campaigns have finally caught up with him.
Despite the rhetoric, despite the eloquent words and the confusing figures, Kenya Kwanza has been badly exposed on all fronts. As we begin the second year of Kenya Kwanza regime, it is clear we are in a reckless race to the bottom.
Azimio criticizing the president for yesternight's increase of fuel prices, which have now hit the 200 shilling mark, triggering a rise of basic commodities and eventually high cost of living, which is one of the contentious agendas in the ongoing bipartisan talks. Azimio putting President William Ruto on the spot for going against his promises of unchecked spending and borrowing, saying the Ruto administration has increased its spending by 400 billion shillings, money that was not budgeted for, which is why the government is increasing taxes.
We refuse to ask you to tighten your belts. You have done enough. The ball is squarely in the court of the regime. They either act or await the fate that has fallen other insensitive and incompetent regimes across the continent.
The president was further taken to task on the education sector, which Azimio says has been thrown into a full-blown financial crisis by the Ruto regime due to high fees in education institutions and mismanagement. Apul Kamau, TV 47.